Hey guys, I just thought I'd make this video kind of for a few reasons. I had a bit of a realization the other day, which I think kind of helped me on my creative pursuit, and I thought I'd like share it and hopefully it helps someone else. But first, my name's Sam. You all follow me on Instagram and stuff, but I don't really ever do much sort of personal stuff like this, so I just thought I'd sort of put myself out here and make a little video while I go for a walk. And so what I kind of realized the other day, so a little bit about myself. All of my jobs basically have been in creative industries. So my whole career I've worked in, movies, games, TV commercials, mobile games, apps, and then freelance. I'm a photographer and videographer, video editor, and it sort of suits my personality. Like, I like to just do a whole bunch of stuff, so if I get sick of one thing, I've got something else to move on to. So it kind of suits me to be like someone that sort of gets into a bit of everything. And the thing about that though is it can be sort of a daunting process, because you get really proficient at one thing and then someone asks you to do something else and you go, shit, like, I've got no experience in doing this. How will I ever do it? If some of you might have felt the feeling of like, oh, it's going to be a failure, I'm going to be a flop. But something I've sort of adopted from that is that I tend to just say yes to most jobs, like within reason. If someone asks me to do something completely out of the creative realm, or even in the creative realm that I realize I'm not the best person for, then it's times like that you can choose to pass it up. But more often than not, if everything lines up, all makes sense, and I've got a good time frame, I just say yes to things, because I like learning new things. I like doing that sort of work, different sorts of work. So it just kind of suits me. And what's kind of plagued me for the longest time is just this fear, of, oh, what if I stuff it up? I haven't done particularly this. And then I feel creatives go even more granular than that. They go, oh, I'm a photographer, but he wants me to shoot, portraits or yada, yada, yada. And I'm definitely not saying that there's not specific differences in all these things. But what I'm saying is I just like to sort of challenge myself to learn the new thing that they want. If it's in a realm of something that I kind of know how to do. And but yeah, this fear of not being able to satisfy the client or my employer or whatever, I feel like lots of people have that, right? And so I but the bonus to the fear thing is that it also drives me. So if I'm really scared of a potential failure at something, it just kind of makes me do everything I can to not let that happen. So I'll dive really deep into, if I don't know how to do this, I'm working out how to create it, or how to do whatever the client wants, And one sort of thing that I realized, I sort of had a little bit of a, it's a bit stereotyped, but I had a little bit of a light bulb the other day where I thought, the weird thing about creative stuff is that it's generally subjective. It's like, unless it's real marketing driven stuff, it's pretty subjective. I take a photo, you take a photo, different people will say that's a good photo. Some will like mine, some will like yours, and everyone's kind of right, because that's the beauty of creative stuff. It's not like if you go to a tax man or something and they're both working by the same rules about the laws of accounting and all that sort of stuff, there's not really much wiggle room there outside of perhaps picking up on some deductions you missed or that sort of thing. It's kind of more black and white. It's like, this is the correct answer. Whereas art, you don't really get that. And some people find that really some people find that extremely empowering, but other people would, like, that would drive them crazy. Like, they want that correct answer, you know? And it just got me thinking how lots of people who might not be properly employed in a creative field, they kind of get stuck in that loop of thinking they're not good enough, or, you know, they tried this thing once and they failed at it, so they won't try it again. And it just kind of got me thinking, when you're employed in creative, like in a creative company, and perhaps you've got a lead or an art director or a director that you're dealing with, you know, like lots of the work sort of sitting with the director and saying, you know, do you want it more like this or more like that, etc. Then they kind of turn what is sort of a subjective thing into more of an objective thing, and that's for good use. You know, it's for making sure that a task doesn't take 3 years, because it's like, no, what you've got now is closer to what I was imagining, approved, you know? But if you're just trying to do this on your own, you're the one that's approving your own work. You're the one that's saying, oh yeah, I've worked on this long enough now, I've fixed up the things that I noticed were a problem with it, and I'm ready to sort of present it to the world. And it just got me realizing that lots of people that are in that situation often never pursue things, or stop short of pursuing things, because they just get stuck there and they think, I'm not good enough. But the one thing sort of trying to bring all this together is, you know, I've worked in like so many different creative jobs. Each job, even in the same job description, is completely different from company to company. Like, you'll never start up at a company and be like, I know everything there is to know about this role. You know, you've got proprietary tools you're working with that people in other departments have scripted, so there's no possible way you could know how it works. So you've got to be taught up on all this. And generally what you find is, like, between 1 and 3 months or so, you're kind of up to the similar speed of everyone else. You know, like, your work's getting approved, everyone's work's getting approved. There are different discrepancies in skill level between, you know, people that are more experienced and less experienced. But at the end of the day, you're always hitting that bar, you know. But what I found really interesting was, you know, I just threw that number out, 1 to 3 months. That's kind of, you know, a company doesn't want to employ someone that takes a year to get someone up to speed. But it's just funny because lots of people will spend a couple of weeks trying something and be like, oh, I'm rubbish, you know, throw it out, and go back to doing what they were doing. And I don't know, it just got me thinking, like, if every company you join has a new set of parameters that you need to follow, and it's different to the last, and at the end of the day, you all still get there in the end to be able to make art and to, you know, create a product that people are happy with. I mean, what makes you think that you're different on your own? To me, that just kind of means, you know, as long as you're getting, perhaps you want feedback from someone more mature than you, or someone more experienced, which is fine. But if you sort of strive at something and sort of work on it really hard, you're going to sort of reach a level that you're pretty impressed with. And perhaps it's something that you wouldn't have thought you could pursue like a week or two in, and by the 3rd or 4th week you're like, hang on, I think I'm really getting this. So yeah, that was kind of my thoughts. I just thought I'd try to do a video like this because it's just kind of a bit more personable rather than cool drone shots all the time. Yeah, I hope people find some value in it. Cheers.